life.
Exactly. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mousy, and I am the ultimate SL clout chaser. And I'm here with some friends, some old and some new, and even like SL family, my sister Junie. So, hey, everyone. I'll start with Junie. How are you doing, Junie? What's been going on with you? I just feel like there's just been tons and tons and tons happening in your world recently.
Yes, hey everybody, it's Junie, also known as PixelChixSimmer. I recently just opened up my resort, the Villas at New Ibiza. Very recently, we got our first. We had Carmen King actually stay at our resort, and then we had our first customer come in today, and she's staying here, so that's been really nice. Other than that, I have a few other projects that are coming up soon. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about them yet, but yeah.
Is she allowed to talk about it? Looks at Sky and Mika.
I don't. I mean, it's up to us as a whole. I'm neutral on the situation.
Okay.
Let the people know. Give them what they want.
Mika, give them what they want. You're next. So, what's going on with you, lady? You have tons of interviews lined up. Tell us who's all going to be on your show.
Yes, so I'm Mika Snow, aka the future Oprah of Second Life. I love interviewing
Girl,
people.
I'm going to take, we're going to fight for that title, just so that you know that.
Well, see, this show was actually something that was like 2 years in the making. And I was supposed to start it maybe back up in, I want to say June. I wanted to do it with my sisters. Things didn't work out that way 2 years ago. And then I was waiting for my niece Mandy to get her laptop back. So it's been a long time coming. So I'll fight you for it now.
No, we can share it. But I love Oprah.
Yeah.
I think like Oprah is definitely the blueprint. So that's why. Is this Izzy on a horse with no head?
Looking so majestic. Hi, Izzy.
The majestic Izzy Soulstice.
Yes, but I'm Mika. I make YouTube videos. I also have a Sunday talk show. I have an interview next week with Carmen King, then Mousy, then November Justice of the store November, Daisy from 28 LA, Izzy, Sky. There's a lot of people, and I'm excited to share them with you all. Quincy Robin as well. So that's me and what I do.
I can't wait to hear from Quincy. November I've met, and I've also interviewed her. She's amazing. And you know she has 7 RP kids in SL, Mika.
Wow.
Get into it. Ask her all that stuff. I was like so shocked. But she's super sweet. I can't wait to see her. Definitely can't wait to see Carmen. I'm super excited about that. Just all your guests. You've been doing a lot of things on your channel too. And what events are you covering?
Well, I cover this one event called Gotta Get Your Gotcha. It's really fun on the weekends. You guys should check it out. I also do Cake Day. I do Level. I've done Uber, Lot 6, which is something that's new, and you guys should check that out as well.
Yeah. So Sky, what's going on with you? What's happening with you lately?
My dog is playing with his dog toy, so let me throw it so it's not in the mic. Sorry about that. I am a vlogger for Gotta Get You Gotcha, which I absolutely love. Remember, guys, join the group.
You guys don't have to say that. I feel so embarrassed.
I want to say that.
Shameless plug.
You know me. And I also am going to be starting a store with friends, and
Your mic cut out, Sky.
Can you guys hear me okay now?
No, you're okay. You said
Yes.
I'm also going to start a store.
Yeah, we're going to start a store with my family and friends. We're going to have some really fun fully meshed products coming your way, so really have a look out for that. And yeah, I'm just a Beyou farmer, and that's it. Nothing much else. Oh, interior decorating too.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I'm going to pan the camera around. I'm sorry, guys, because I wasn't prepared to do this, but hopefully this works. So we have YZ here. YZ, could you sit closer to Sky?
Come here, YZ.
Okay.
Pat your hand on the pillow to have her sit. Come on.
Okay, there I go. Oh my gosh, what happened to my body?
Guys,
Hang on.
please forgive
Keep
me because my
floating.
camera's not like set up to. It wasn't set up to do this, but I'm gonna make it work. I like your dress, Wisey. I didn't see that earlier.
Okay.
That is cute.
Thanks. I don't remember where I got it. I just had it.
Okay. So, what are you up to, Wisey?
Not much. I've been kind of busy with real life. Trying to work out a store myself as well. So.
What are you thinking about doing? What are you thinking about doing?
I would like to do maybe some makeup, nails, accessories. Well, maybe not like necklaces and stuff, but like small accessories and make small builds, maybe, and shapes.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I'm gonna pan the camera around and let's say hi to Izzy. Hey, Izzy, what's going on?
Hey. I mean a lot. I've been busy in Second Life. Yeah, we're gonna start a store soon. What else? I do styling, so I've been busy with that. If you guys want to get styled, we have a bunch of new stylists now, right, in the clinic, so that's awesome.
Yep.
Tell everybody who you style, girl. Don't hold back. Let them know.
I had Carmen the other day as a client, and that was really fun. So I'm waiting for her video to come out so you guys can see that. But helped her get a little new shape and some clothes and the skin and everything. So that was fun. What else?
She put a little poke on her. A letter P, you know.
Yeah.
For that boutique.
Yeah, so been doing that, and yeah, interior decorating with Sky, so that's been fun. So yeah, a lot.
Okay, cool. So guys, we pretty much do these intros to give you guys a moment to come in the room and just catch up with us and things like that. All right, so let's just get back into the video for a second. I'm just gonna say hello to everyone. Hi, baby Countess. Hi, Rakia. Oh wait, hi. Oh wait, that's Leah. Hi, Nessa. Hey, Bethany, Sashi, Randy, how's everyone doing today? And everyone else who hasn't said hello, hello to you guys too. Guys, please forgive me and the wonky camera, because usually what happens is if I'm having more than 4 people, what I'll do with my camera is kind of like set it up with the camera lock button. So all I have to do is swing around with my AD button, but if this is kind of impromptu, like now Izzy and YZ has joined us and we're happy about that. So this is what our topic is for today. Our topic is how to make friends, 7+ ways to make friends in Second Life. And I know a lot of you guys have asked us and said that you've had a really hard time making friends in Second Life. So we kind of all put our heads together and we were thinking about like, how did we meet each other? How have we met other people and things like that? And we just wanted to share that with you. So Rakia says, thank you for bringing us amazing stuff. And also that's going to be amazing, Sky, that you're opening a store right now. Okay, so one of the ways that we have written down here is groups and classes. So I know back in the day, people would tell me that building with Prim was really big. So they went to building classes, and building classes are still applicable even for mesh or things you may need to do, like fixes or adjustments you may need in SL today. Scripting classes, maybe Firestorm classes, and now Discord, sexual education classes. Like, for example, I'll give an example of that. When I first started Second Life, even though like I'm not into, say, dominant submissive things on a day-to-day basis, I was definitely curious about it, and I went to classes in SL and I met like a BDSM furniture maker, and we stayed friends for a really long time. She had me even model in one of her marketplace ads, and we hung out a lot, and that's how I made friends, because I went to this class maybe every Wednesday, every Thursday. Don't ask me what it is, I don't remember, but it was like an hour class and I met friends there. Do you guys have anything you want to add to that in terms of groups or discords and friends that maybe you might have made?
Yes, for sure. So when I first started SL, I didn't really know anybody. I reached out to Mousy through a comment on her video because she was the first person to actually make me understand how to put on a body. But besides that, I went on to Discords, like Mila's Discord at the time, and I'm still in it. But at the time, I was really active in it, and I just was talking to everybody, and we hung out every time Mila would have a meetup, and we just, go to the beach together, went surfing together. It was really fun, so we made actual friendships out of it.
Yeah, that's cool. Did anyone else meet anyone, say, like maybe in a scripting class, Firestorm class, or anything like that? Or Discord or anything?
I have met people just through hanging out at different places. When I first started Second Life, like 7 years ago, there used to be this sim called Dirty South, and there was Miami Beach, I believe it was called, Miami City. And they would just be like big giant store malls where people would shop and hang out. So I would just stand there, chat with people, and I made some really great connections that way.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And I think that leads us into number two. Like, I have frequenting the same spots. So whether it's a voice sim that you go to hang out, there's tons of voice hangout sims in SL, dance clubs, or just places where you get together, like conversation cafes, things like that. London City, I think someone said. So basically, if you go to those same places every day, as time permits, real life permits, and you're chatting in local and things like that, that's how you end up making friends, right, Mika? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, I have experience with that as well. Like, there used to be the sim called the Burbs, and after that, Drip City, and just going into these places every single day, you do tend to make friends and get to know people. And then they invite you places, whether it's like res day parties or events that they might throw. Then you get invited, you meet other people too. So it kind of multiplies from there.
I
Right,
don't
and you
want
can.
to. Oh, go ahead, Mika. Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. I was just gonna let somebody out there know who might need to hear this. If you're too shy to speak in local chat at these places, you see somebody, maybe you like their avatar, you like their hair, just IM them and say, "Hi, I really like this or that." And that would be a really great icebreaker to introduce yourself to people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope I'm not jumping the gun, but I've met friends many moons ago by starting a business and, having like-minded people that wanted to experience this business with me. Or I hired them as employees and we also became. So if you are a creator or if you own a club or any type of venue, super easy to meet like ships.
For sure. Randy says, going back to the other point, was Kona Beach Surf is a good spot to make friends. And I've actually gone surfing there before. It's an amazing place. June, it was the place that I took you to where I said they had the pool just like you did, but except it was off to the side, the same pool at your
Oh.
resort, because her pool is very unique. Yeah, so that's a good sim, and I suppose the same people hang out there often. And Sky, yes, the point that you made, which was meeting people in a business, we did have that as number five, but I'll just move it to number three. But in the process of starting a business, you could find a photographer, mesh creator, website builder, things like that. Are there any that you're like still friends with to this day?
No, unfortunately, they don't play anymore. This was, like I said, back in '08, '09, 2010.
Can I ask you a
So,
question, Sky? How does friendships differ in your experience? Because you've been on here a very long time. Do you feel like friendships are different in SL back then as opposed to now? Because whenever I listen to YouTube videos or OGs on Facebook, they're always like, SL was so different. SL was just different. It was just different. And I'm like, what does that mean?
I feel like people think it's SL that's different. Maybe we're different. You know what I mean? And what's
Mm.
going on in the real world comes over into SL. So, we didn't have the BLM movement in '08 and '09. So that wasn't what brought us together. It was other things that brought us together. The world was just a better place back then. So it's going to come to SL. If the world's a better place, SL's a better place.
Mm.
What's going on in the world, if it's going bad, it's going to come in here too. It's just how it is.
Okay.
And your personal lifestyle, you know, whether you're single at the time that you're playing SL, maybe your friendships are a little different as opposed to having a friendship when you're with a real life partner. It's different. You might be going to a lot of strip clubs and hanging out with guys, you know, as a single woman in real life versus if you're taken, you might go in a different direction. So I think it's kind of a personal thing. I don't really think it's a SL thing.
Okay. And I don't want to put you on the spot, Mika, but I feel like you've said it in one of your videos. SL was just different back then. And I think you reference, I don't even want to get the name wrong, so I'm afraid to say it. Like you talk about one or two clubs there and how everybody hung out and kind of knew each other. Is there a difference for you?
To me, I do notice a difference just with the community as a whole. I would say back then, Second Life was more like community based. It was more of the social 3D platform, and everything was like, you got to meet people. It's chat based. And moving to the future where we're at now, it has grown to be more about like shopping. Everybody wants to be a creator. Everybody wants to do this and that. And these are all things that pull you away from socialization.
Oh my God, that's so true.
Yeah, that's true. Because I was a solo player for a long time, and all I would do would go to my little SL job if it was at the strip club or at a dance club, make money, and then just like go shopping. That's all I did for a while until I met people.
And since the epidemic, oh, go ahead, YZ. Sorry.
I remember when I started SL, what I did is I hang around a lot in parks and forests and like foresty places, mystical places, artistic places, and that's where I would meet some people. And there was this one place that had like a hidden room. You had to find this room, and it was hidden. It was pretty well hidden too. And I just came across it, and there was this guy who just like, hello, and I'm like, hi. We became friends. So don't be scared to explore Second Life, even places where you think you may not meet someone.
Yeah, that's a really good
Friendships
point.
will not fall in your lap. You have to go out and make an effort. If you're sitting on your platform, don't expect somebody to just hit you up randomly. You have to get out.
Yeah, for sure. But I think something interesting that Mika did say was, like basically what you said is that if SL is changing, if the economy of SL changes where we have so many location events or weekend events, and that does put some pressure on creators because I don't know if we would say our event market is oversaturated, but for sure we have tons and tons and tons of events. And we know creators who are almost a part of all of them. So as a creator, it's going to be hard to mingle. And as someone who, as Izzy says, you know, if you want to keep up and have money in SL and don't want to upload, you might have to work. So you're just working and shopping and working and shopping. Like that definitely changes what the dynamics of SL is for sure.
This epidemic has brought a lot of new creators into this grid. I'm telling you right now, people are after their paper. Okay, that's why shopping is so big right now. People have a lot of time on their hands to make things. People need money. So, again, SL relies on real life dynamics at times.
That's true.
But you know, shopping on Second Life has always been a thing, and God Mama Sky, I don't know if you remember like those massive Sims where the whole thing would just be this huge mall like event era. And so now people we were shopping, but it was like community based, you know, it wasn't about going to this one location and everybody breaking their neck to get in. It would be like a full sim, like I think there was one in Miami. And you would just stay there all day and talk to people, but it's not like that anymore. Everything pulls you in a different direction.
I remember that because sorry.
Let me just say this. I'm laughing so hard at one of the comments. Premium Ramen says, if I see somebody watching me for 2 minutes or so, I go ahead and slap their butt and say hi. But now I have to.
So you're that person.
Like Mika was saying, I used to go to malls quite a bit just to not only shop but to actually meet people because there were actual malls. Like I went to at least 3 different malls. They were actual malls. There were small little stores. You can go to this store. There was a shoe store. There was that store, and it was really fun. I remember there was this place that was called Mini Mall or something. It was by somebody. That was their name, and it was huge. And I don't know if that's still around, but things are different because now you just go to the store and be like, oh, okay, I'm just here to get that. Okay, bye.
Yeah, which is, not that's not to say it's a bad thing. Maybe you're like premium ramen and you're slapping people in the butt because you see them in your crosshairs. I'm not sure how that all works. But he says he has too many friends now, so maybe you could try that. The point is like maybe saying hello, and I think that's what we're getting to. If you see somebody you like and find something that's interesting about them, maybe I like Mika's tracksuit, I like Junie's blazer, and I could just say, hey, where'd you get that from? And I know before you guys start saying, a lot of people won't tell me where they get things from. Those who may tell you, if you really find something common, like maybe say to them, hey, do you mind if I friend you? Sometimes I go to events and things, I invite you, because I ask people all the time now if I could friend them, and usually it's not an issue. And I feel like a lot of us do here. And then June says to follow up with the person once you do friend them. That's how we ended up being friends, right, June? Because what would happen is like we had one conversation, and then every time we were online, June would say, hey girl, what you doing? And or I would say, hey June, what you're doing? And now we're SL sisters, so there you go.
Right. Yeah, every time I saw you online, I was like, okay, hey girlie, what's up? What are you up to? And you just, hang out, see what they're doing.
Yeah, and that was fun times. That was you, me, and Zula, the trifecta. And I love it, and I miss it so much. But yes, we had a lot of good times. Just the three of us. Okay. I mean, anybody ever have any luck just saying hello to someone and that developing into a friendship here?
I went to an interview with you, and now you're my friend.
Yeah. Well, I guess that that's true. Yeah, that's true. But and that goes into what Sky is saying. Like sometimes people that you work with in SL, that your colleagues, you happen to see them like every day, or you see them all the time, and it ends up coming or developing into a friendship for sure. Yeah. So that's one thing. We talked about a lot of things. Like, so another thing I have here on the list is moving into a community RP sim, like Luxe LA or West Summerside or Bayside or someplace like that. Has anyone ever moved into a roleplay residential community where it's not like heavily roleplay, but more about what you guys could do together and made friends?
Yes, I can speak on that a little bit. When I first came into Second Life, I needed a place to stay, and I found this really cheap place called Sunrise Beach Rentals. They may still be a thing, I don't know. But the rent was literally like 100 Linden a week. That gave out money for being in the group, and like I made friends there because I would get in my little apartment, and somebody would message me and be like, "Hey, are you my neighbor? Are you my new neighbor?" And I'd be like, "Hey, I'm your new neighbor," and we just talked and we became friends. We hung out like for weeks. Like we have that every day.
Yeah.
I haven't. In the past, I tried to adopt kids in Second Life. Like, I wanted to be a single mother. And I guess I ended up being friends with this one girl for a while. But we don't communicate anymore. It's been a long time. But I guess that's another way too.
Yeah, for sure. Hi, Amia. How are you doing?
Let's not forget about the underutilized forums on the Second Life main site. Under community, you go to forums, and if you scroll down, you'll see make friends. It's like the second one. There'll be a lot of people in here looking for friends, and if you guys click, hey, why not?
Mm-hmm. What about
that? Is true.
Yeah.
That is actually really true.
I am single and I need a partner. I mean, I'm not going to read the whole blog, but I'm just giving the titles. Where are all my friends? Come on in and let's get comfy by the fire. Say hi, new to Second Life, friends, new friends, and it goes on. And these are posts that are made yesterday and today, so these are not old posts. Go to Second Life forums. You can find.
What about Facebook groups and things like that? Instagram?
I
Yes.
try to avoid social media when it comes to Second Life. I mean, I just don't like that, but that's just me personally. But somebody else may be like, that sounds like a great idea. But to me, it's like, I don't want to.
Okay, so there's one person who's like anti SL social media. And what about like anybody here would advise someone to meet friends on Facebook or?
I
I
see
highly
posts all the
recommend
time. Yeah. I see posts all the time. Hey, if shoot out your in-world name, let's hang out. Like I see that post all the time on my Facebook feed.
Okay. And Mika, you said you highly recommend it.
Yes, only because Facebook, like in general, is used probably even more than the actual Second Life forums. It's really big. And you could just make an account and join different Second Life groups and just add people. Everyone usually will accept your friend request, and you could just interact with people, especially if you don't know a lot of places to go yet in Second Life. Facebook could be like step one for you to get out there and meet people. There's
Yeah.
so many avatars. People have all of their avatars on Facebook.
Yeah. And I'm relatively new to Second Life because Second Life Facebook because of GGG and wanting to promote there, but I've learned about so many new brands. Like I learned about Flaunt, Banana Beauty, like all these new things that come out. I'll just read funny memes from people, and sometimes I engage with them on their page. They engage in mine. As a result of being on Facebook, or maybe even this channel, I really think it's the Facebook access because I was talking on Facebook. You know, I've had inquiries and little conversations with people about some things that could potentially develop into friendship. So I think that you're right, Mika. A lot of people say that SL Facebook, to YZ's point, is like really a toxic place, but I think it's what you're willing to engage in, right?
Yeah, it is. But again, that's just my personal opinion, you know?
Yeah, sure.
I prefer not to. It's like, but somebody else, like you guys are like cool with it. It's been like, okay, it works for you guys, it works for you guys. But for me, I'm just like, no. I mean, it's not like I haven't tried it. I just never saw the point in it, and it actually caused me more problems than anything else. So,
What kind of problems?
oh, I had problems with my ex-boyfriend in Second Life, and I'm just like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna delete this account.
Okay, so that was like more intimate relationship sort of problems.
Yeah.
All right. Ghost says some of the Second Life games are a good way to make friends too. I've made friends through fishing games on SL. That's a really good point. And roleplay combat sims, like, so Grimm's Zombie Apocalypse was one that I was recently playing. I was like low-key obsessed with it for weeks, but then I got busy on SL. I ruined myself, so then I couldn't like play it anymore or as much. Or there were other combat sims I used to go to where, you know, there were mages and healers and all these things, and you had to level up, and that was a lot of fun. I made a lot of friends on roleplay combat sims. Remember, guys, Liberty City, those types of places? Yeah, so that's a really good point, Ghost. You can make a lot of friends on some like gaming or combat type sims. Or fishing, which she's saying, or I guess playing greedy or things like that.
The casino too, if you're able to go in your state. Some of us can't do that, but I used to live in Jersey back home, and I would go to the casinos all the time and just meet people, gamble with people, bond about the money that we lost. So check them out if you can go in your state.
I would love to. Do you know if New York can?
You should. Let me Google that really quick. Hold on.
Yeah, I would love to go. Yeah, that would be really cool. All right, so that was one thing. That's one thing if you're able to gamble. And then I have using HUD systems like Beyou, Xeno Life, and then Mika told me about Life System, which I didn't know about. So using those things, have you guys been able to meet friends? Not having friends who you have and they happen to share the same interests, but have you met new people as a result of having Beyou, Xeno Life, or anything like that?
I've definitely had a lot of people hit me up and talk to me because I'm a very active BU player, So that's definitely a good way to do it.
Okay.
I used to actually met a few people when I breeded snuffles. Now snuffles are like
Sniffles.
yes, they were so cute. They were like little hamsters, and you had to sign up with this um, online group, and you have a community, and you exchange your snuffles, and people were quite friendly. So and they're so cute too. I actually still have some snuffles, but I kind of stopped because I'm just like okay.
Yeah, the
They're just
breedable
taking
community is very active with friendships.
yeah.
I've noticed that. That's a really good point, YZ.
Yeah, and I still occasionally do horses. I mean, with breedables, there's there you can meet a lot of people when you're breeding certain things. Um, I know Snuffles is a good one. The ABC community is a good one. Miru's is kind of iffy. Um, but Fawn's is pretty good. So there is other options too.
Okay, so just being a part of a community where you have a shared interest or group. And one thing that Sky was talking about, she was talking about Black Lives Matter, but there are other groups. Let's say you're a cancer survivor, or you suffer from OCD, or you have depression or anxiety that you want help talking through. I've met people who even had addictions in SL, and they take those. I was afraid to say it because I didn't want to, bring it, make anyone feel uncomfortable, but I think it's safe to say these things. But there are, people who have issues with addiction, and they go to their AA meetings in Second Life. I don't know if you guys are aware of
Oh,
that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Someone
know
told
that.
me about that. I mean, I haven't
Yeah.
personally gone, but I believe. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Vicey.
I knew I was aware these kind of groups existed, but I never actually been into one of them. But yeah, that. But also, I think you kind of have to be a little careful when you go into those groups because
Hmm.
remember you're dealing with real life stuff, and there's only so much Second Life can do. Um, in the end, if you need professional help, please do get professional help.
Yeah, and guys, I hope that goes without being said. Amia says one of some advice that she got from Mila's videos: meet with people who like the same things that you do. And yeah, absolutely. And that's what we were talking about. Like, there are tons of classes in SL. There's tons of groups that you could be part of. So definitely, I
Yeah.
would, join those groups. Like, if you have an interest in things, and I mentioned scripting, meshing, building, whatever you have an interest in. I even mentioned adult classes because there are adult classes that teach you about the daddy dom baby girl dynamic, or submissive dom master slave, that sort of thing, for those of you who might want to join like Gorian roleplay, and you need to be educated before doing that. And speaking of roleplay, even roleplay sim, so if you have those type of commonalities, like, definitely would be a good place to meet friends.
I want to I want to bring up a
Yeah.
point. A lot of people get discouraged making friends because maybe one of their first interactions was with somebody with different intentions. So let's
Mm.
just say you're somebody on here that doesn't enjoy, pixeling, but you hit somebody up, hey, what's going on? You look cute, you want to go shopping, and then they turn around and ask you pixel with them, and it just makes you feel a little bit like weird. Understand that everybody is not the same. So just because the first interaction that you had in an IM with somebody new doesn't mean that's going to continue to happen. Just keep putting yourself out there. You will eventually find that you can click with.
Yeah, that is so true, Sky. But also, I think another thing when to find a really good friend is a good friend is they respect your boundaries as well. Um, we all have different opinions, different boundaries, and we all respect them. I try my hardest to do so. I'm sure you guys do the same. So don't be afraid to say I'm not comfortable with this. And if they can't accept that, then that's their problem in the end.
And people come and people go on SL. You guys understand that as well. You know, this is a very transient platform.
Yeah. And I'm actually like, just to piggyback off of what Sky said, I know that yesterday we were hanging out and I was in Izzy's house and I was like, oh my gosh, whose house is this? I hope Izzy is going to be okay with me being in her house. But you know, it's like when, you know, like she said, you have to be open to like other experiences because I've hung out with people before that would like flip if you were at their place when they're not online and they found out, or if like you found out where they got their shirt and now you're wearing it. Like there are those people like that.
Girl.
And like
Oh my
like
goodness.
yeah, there are people like that, y'all.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Yeah.
don't let
Yeah,
that
I
deter you
remember
from
that.
meeting new folks. Like you'll always be able to meet people in Second Life. There's a sim for everybody. Type in anime, type in furry or space or whatever in the search bar and you'll find something for you. Just be open and receptive to meeting new people.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. Sky's like, what kind of people were you hanging out before us?
I mean, that did
Yeah.
sound kind of extreme.
Yeah, because I was like, you can definitely go to my house. Like, I'm happy you're enjoying it, at least.
Didn't I
Like-
say that?
Yeah,
That's
well,
exactly
yeah.
what I said. I said, Izzy will be happy you're in her house. That's the exact words I said.
Yeah, and yeah, because I'm like, what? It's like, what kind of friends do you have before? Like,
I
I mean,
let
there's
Wendy
lots
go
of
and use my
different people.
BU stuff. Sorry, Mika.
I was gonna say there's lots of different people on Second Life, and you can meet someone and never know what could happen. But you know, even if that does happen, just be open and open your heart to meeting new people because you never know who you'll come across, even after a bad situation.
Yeah, and can I say this too? And it's funny that you just said that. You never know what you'll come across after a bad situation. So, you know, I recently started engaging in what I thought was a friendship with a person that I really, really liked. And I liked their point of view, and I thought they were really intelligent. It was really fun to hang out with them and have conversation with. But what I'm noticing about Second Life is some people are Second Life jaded. And what does that mean? It means that you guys been in Second Life for a minute, and you might have encountered like shitty personality after shitty personality. And the thing is, like, you don't trust people. Like, you're paranoid. You feel like somebody's out to get you, or their intentions are not pure, and you're having conversations, but you want to text what you wrote about because you want to have those receipts. Like, this is not the healthiest way to go about friendships, with suspicion or doubt or things like that. Like, if you want to meet somebody, you want to meet and you want to make a friend, like, you just have to put yourself out there and understand you're not perfect, the person's not perfect. But one thing I was telling the girls earlier offline, like, something I look for in friendships is that, like, if I see you and we have really good flow, really good dynamic, I'm already interested, number one. But then I kind of like watch a little bit. Like, are you a reasonable person? If I see that, if God forbid something happens and there can't be a no, because obviously everyone's not going to agree about everything because we all have unique experiences and things like that. But if I see that there's a conflict or a disagreement and you're not even the person who would like hear someone else out, and or you don't fight fair, or something weird is about your personality, like, that makes me uncomfortable because I don't want to invest tons of time on a relationship that could be thrown away in a second because this is not a person I'm going to be able to communicate with to get to the next level. Like, I would rather not invest, if that makes sense. So you could have your standards and be cautious, but at the same time, don't be paranoid and have your heart closed against people at the same, you know, because like I said, no one's perfect. You're going to make mistakes. The other person's going to make mistakes. It's just how you're able to work through it. And, you know, whether their intentions are malicious or not. And I'm sorry I rambled a bit.
No,
That's
that's so
okay.
hard for me. It's so hard for me, and I need to be more like that. I'll be honest, because I've had bad experiences on SL I don't really want to talk about right now, but it is hard to open yourself
Yeah,
up
same
after bad
here.
experiences.
I
It's
know
like
I
what?
had. Alright.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Wisey.
Because I know I had friends in the past in Second Life, and I had bad experiences, and then though I had certain experiences where I have felt that they kind of make you want to choose sides, who you want to still be friends with. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to drop both of you, and I'm going.
But can I say something about that, YZ? There's a third option, right? Because I think sometimes people in friendships may ask your opinion on a situation. Like I might ask a friend who I think is neutral or who I think will definitely tell me, or if I'm out of line, I definitely ask because sometimes you need someone to check out your blind spots for you. If something happens, you want to ask and say, listen, did I do the wrong thing, or should I have handled it this differently, or could I have handled it differently? And a friend will tell you, right? But the thing is, if you have to choose, the third option is to say, I'm not going to choose because you guys are both my friends and you're grown ass people and you have to figure it out. Like, I'm not in it, and that's it, and that's okay. Like, that doesn't mean that it's you throw away a friendship. It just means that you tell people where you stand.
Yeah, I usually be like very neutral, but sometimes they just kept insisting, and I'm just like, okay, it's like this is no longer comfortable.
Yeah.
Jalil made a good point in your chat. You might want to read that. That's crazy, Jalil.
He says, I'm not going to lie, when I first got hacked on IMVU when I was 16, it was really hard for me to trust other people's online facts. What do you mean online facts? Do you guys know what that means?
Like he means like that on period, basically. Like that's a fact, I think. I don't know. Well, maybe not.
Like that's facts.
Wait, I'm just reading it as a full sentence. I'm so corny. I'm sorry. All right, I see. Like you're just saying facts. Okay, got it. Okay, I was reading it as a full sentence. All right, yeah. So I see that it would be like really definitely hard to trust people online if that happened for sure.
I was actually, I think I was almost hacked like a few times, but the thing is I knew how to. I came on while it was happening, so I was actually able to prevent it. But when you do get hacked, it sucks. It does suck when that happens.
Yeah. I mean, so obviously if something terrible happens, like I've seen people on some like certain places get doxxed. And I don't agree with doxing at all, like taking someone's personal information or trying to use imagery of them to humiliate them and things like that. And I was just thinking to myself, like, what's wrong with these people and who raised them? But, you know, it's something that Sky said when we had a conversation offline, is that this is the internet, right? And so it's kind of like lawless a little bit. There are things that you get away on here on this platform that you can't get away with anywhere else. So you have to really challenge yourself to be like disciplined and somewhat mature, and not just being an asshole just because you can. So that's about character.
Have a thick skin.
Yeah, a lot of people do that just because they can, and they do it because of that. But yeah, you can get away with a lot, especially if you know how to bury your tracks in online. That's even harder to prove somebody did something wrong to you. So.
Right. Yeah. So Angelica says, I always use my gut instinct to see if I could trust anymore. I've been through a lot in real life and in SL. It's hard to trust for me at the moment, so I'm trying to find better ways of meeting new friends. And Angelica, can I ask you this? Where did you meet these friends in the past that you felt were really detrimental or really hard to trust? Like, what kind of scenarios have you guys heard of, which is it makes it hard to trust people in SL?
Are you asking us?
Yeah, like I'm just asking, like, have you heard of, because everyone's talking about, yeah, I'm guarded too, but what kind of scenarios have you heard of within SL which makes you understand why people are slow to trust or slow to actually want to enter a friendship? Because now what it sounds like the conversation isn't really where to make friends, because you guys keep saying where to make friends, but as soon as we open Pandora's box and we talk about people not really trusting and not being opening, now everyone's like, yes, I have a story behind that.
Having a preconception for somebody and then them being completely different. So if you're on a platonic tip and then they're asking you and pressing you for other things, that could be one. Or somebody that gets really close to you and then starts asking you for lindens, and not a friendship, hey, can I borrow lindens, but more like, insisting or feeling entitled to your linden. that could be some trust factors.
That never happened to me. I don't even know how I would deal with that. I'd be like, I don't have it. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably what they do in real life, though. You know what I mean? Like, there's just those people
Like a
in
mooch.
real life and Second Life. Yeah. So you really don't know, but that's the hard part. Is like, in real life, you might have had things that happen in Second Life. You're kind of just guarded because you're like, I don't know if this could happen on here. You know, or you
Yeah.
have more anxiety. I don't know.
I mean, Oh, sorry, Wisey.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I can't judge anybody because I have had trust issues in the past. But I just feel like there's really no reason to, like, judge an entire human race or, like, an entire group of people that are on Estelle just because of one or a few things that may have happened. You know, it's you never know what's gonna come out of somebody else, you know, so try to keep an open mind with that, but...
Okay. And Angelica is responding. She says, I was in a relationship for 4 years and then something bad happened to me in real life and he helped me some, but then he backed off and that hurts. So I called it a while. I wasn't thinking right and hurt, but him hurting me hurt me more because he wouldn't stand by me. Because he would stand by me in the past and didn't. I don't like it when someone says they're going to be there for you, but they're really not. So reliability, so that's an issue why you wouldn't trust someone in SL. That makes sense. But you know what? It's also important that you start revealing information about yourself little by little. I don't think that if I met you 3 weeks ago, I could expect you to hold my hand during a divorce or something like that. I don't think that's reasonable. So I guess it depends on the amount of time you've known a person, and you should be really slow and discerning. Like, people keep talking about their instincts, but like, be really slow and discerning about how much information you want to give out at any given time.
Yeah, you don't want to give too much information all at once because, again, you don't know who you're talking to. But like Mousy said, do pay attention to people when you're talking to the way they talk, the way they type, and you can tell they're a good person or they're not a good person. But sometimes they're really good at hiding it to the point where it does hit you in the face. So there's that too.
Well, I think one thing that you could do, just to like segue back to like how to make friends, I think one thing that you could do is just run in circles with people who share your interests. So
Right.
maybe like you start up a business and, you know, you meet people who also texture. So maybe you just stand and like texture things together, or like you create meshes and upload them together. I feel like when you fellowship with people who share your interests, it might cut down, and you're still going to have like those outliers, but I think that's one thing to keep in mind when you're trying to go out there and make friends.
And can I say this, speaking of fellowship, did you guys know there were churches in SL? Once, when I first started in
Yes.
SL, I was invited to like a Sunday service. So if you're a religious person and you like Bible study and all that, there's a group for you, and there's people out here within Second Life. This could be for you.
Yeah.
That was pretty random, right? You just said the word
Yeah.
fellowship. It made me think.
I get
Oh, no, I love
notices
it.
from BMW all the time. That's the Black Men and Women of SL, and every Sunday, you know, they send a notice about church services.
Have you ever been to one?
I go with them. I go to church with my Nana. We haven't been in a while, but I used to go consistently with the family.
Oh, and that brings us to the last point, guys. Join an RP family. And some of you guys have more experience than others with the RP family thing. Mika, I know you're one of them because you actually have sisters and things like that. So could you tell us like the whole process to joining a family?
Yeah, so when you join a family, you really just want to put yourself out there. There's groups on Facebook, there's an Instagram account. They're not as popular as they used to be, but there's also adoption agencies. So you just put what you're looking for in a child or a parent, and then just, you know, meet with the people, get to see who they are, and see if that's what you would want in your role play. And then you'll just fall into like that family dynamic. Like the family I have, we've been family since I was a teenager, just about, you know. Sometimes it works out that way. Sometimes it doesn't, but once you give it a try, you'll meet the right family.
Yeah. That was kind of so. I remember when I first met June. June was telling me that she was trying to get into RP family, and you were looking for a mom or dad. Which one? Or you were looking for a parent, right? And she was.
I
saying
was
how,
looking for a daughter actually, and then I was looking for parents as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, did you ever meet anyone? Did you get to talk to anybody? Like, how does this whole situation work?
Okay, so I did find a few people through Facebook. I joined the Facebook group that Mika talked about in one of her videos. And I found a couple people and I messaged them on Facebook. We had plans to meet up, but it was the week that I went out of town, so I wasn't able to catch up with them. And then at that point, they just didn't really write me back after that, unfortunately.
Okay, so it's like, so you kind of just talk and then you meet up in person and then take it from there.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I think what happens with the next generation, is that what it's called, a new generation adoption clinic, is that you have a trial period. So like you try it out for a week or so, and if you have good personalities mesh and stuff like that, then yeah, you stick with it for a while or for however long you feel like it.
I've heard on the flip side of meeting people through some adoption agencies, and I'm sure, Mika, you may know something about this, that some of the adult avatars that play children, and even the lady on your medical interview you had earlier today said that they're out just to have someone take care of them. So you gotta watch the red flags. Are you really having a true relationship with this person, or are you, sugar mama, sugar daddy situation?
Yeah, that is completely true. I actually used to run an adoption agency back in the day, Urban Hearts, and you would know right away what they're out to get. Some people are more sneaky with it, but if they start bringing up, oh, I would love to look more like you, I would love to go shopping, or oh, let's go shopping together. Those are always the major red flags, because then you go to the store and they're like, I want this. And then, they're just waiting for you to say something. You waiting for them to say something. Like, I just met you 3 days ago. I'm not comfortable with buying something for you.
Yeah.
So what are you supposed to do with those adult kids then?
It should be like, it's a friendship. Yeah, there's that role play dynamic, but you should be friends first. Like, I had a daughter before. She doesn't play Second Life anymore, but she was my daughter for years. I want to say like 5-6 years, and it's because you have to be friends first. Kind of like finding your BFF or like a significant other. If you don't have that friendship together, it's not going to work out. So you'll be able to point out the opportunists just like you were if you were dating. Or
Okay. And so I didn't know, June just mentioned this. So June told me she watched a YouTuber about the doctor. This was a long time ago. I want to say 7 months ago, but maybe at the time or before I started my YouTube channel. And so Mika was the person that you watched. I watched that video too, Mika, a long time ago before I started my own channel. That video got like a couple thousand views, like tens of thousands of views, right?
Yeah, it's just under 70,000. It's at 69. Yes. I don't even know how that happened, but a lot of people want to find a family. So at the time, there weren't a lot of people speaking about it on YouTube. Everybody talked about fashion, so I wanted to do something different.
That's crazy that an SL video, I mean, now with Carmen here, that's going to be a little different, but that's crazy that an SL video would make that, those kind of numbers, right? That's a little nuts.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show, I mean, so Mika, you got to do a part 2 now for us.
I do. That's my least favorite video that I've ever posted. So I got to remake it. Yeah.
I don't know why it's your least favorite. It's like probably the most informative, because like you said, certain things you just don't know, like, or you might not feel comfortable asking people, and there isn't like so many resources to get that kind of information.
Yeah, because there's a lot of judgment about family RP on Second Life too, especially from people outside of the community. So I think that's why it probably went over well with YouTube. So I'll be getting back to it once I find a new kid.
All right, I was about to ask questions about that, but I feel like we're getting into a whole different topic. Unless you guys don't mind. But
Or
if,
we could do this another Sunday. I feel like this could be a whole fireside chat in itself.
yeah, for sure.
Family roleplay? Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so they're just chatting among themselves. I was just seeing if there was any type of chat that I should
think someone
read.
asked about sororities, if that's a good place to meet people.
I'll let Mika take that one because she's actually in a sorority. I would assume yes, but go ahead, Mika.
It is a great way to meet people, not in just your organization, but within the Greek community on Second Life. There is Team Greek, there's GIF, and it's just like a coalition of different organizations that come together and elaborate for different events. So you'll be exposed to a lot of different people. And I currently have my own organization, Iota Chi Epsilon, but I've pledged throughout the years. I've done other organizations. And let's just say, you know, that organization may not be a great fit for you per se. You will still meet people that you go through that process with, that they'll be like a lifetime friend. I just went to my old line sister, Goldie. She just had a wedding and it was so beautiful. But you know, that was years ago that we pledged together and we're still cool to this day. So I would say be open to sorority and fraternity life. It could work out great for you.
Everyone's like, yes, I want to join a sorority. I just arrived. So, guys, that's going to be our conversation next week. So I have some people lined up who are in sororities, and we're going to ask all kinds of questions. If you guys could leave me questions below about what you want me to ask, like for sure I'll ask that. Why do you think there's such an explosion with sororities and fraternities in SL in the last 6 months? Because I don't feel like 6 months ago this was such a huge thing.
I know.
It's always been a thing.
Oh, really?
But it's such
Yeah.
a big thing. Like, I feel like everyone I
Yes.
know is in a sorority or fraternity at this point.
Remember those
Yeah.
big prim paddles that everybody used to rock back in the day? Those big old primmy paddles.
Big old friend. But yeah, it's always been a thing. I feel like there's a resurgence of the popularity to people who are just coming because of the pandemic. But there are sororities on the grid that are like 10, 12 years old. So they've always been really popular. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. I mean, if you guys have any last comments or thoughts, let me know, because I think we're about to wrap things up. Jason's talking about his vampire family. He says that's a good one. So yeah, guys, if you're into you know, vampirism, whatever it's called, and my puppy's cute, thank you, and or into what is that thing? What is that system with the vampires and the werewolves and things like that?
Oh,
That they don't let you in anywhere if you're part
Bloodlines.
of it. What is it?
Bloodlines.
Yes, bloodlines.
Bloodlines.
Why are people so shady
Bloodlines?
against bloodlines?
Because they be biting you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You're
But
just shopping, minding your business. They pull up with the
Yeah.
But don't you
I
they
think
give you
bloodline,
like a
you need
message? Right?
permission.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't they give you a message where they're like,
Well,
"Can I bite
I don't
you?"
know.
No, I think the other one you're talking about, there's another one. This one,
wanna
say-
you can't really get it on Marketplace. You have to be part of the group. Get this one. I don't remember the name of the HUD or anything,
Don't
but
get
it's
the-
a little different. And you don't have to ask permission to bite them.
Mr. Bubble Cookie said the reason people are against it is because it's a damn pyramid scheme. No.
It is. It really is. And I want to say that
wow.
the request is a newer thing because it's like they want to recruit people into their bloodline life. And it first started out as something really messy. They just bit you and they were like, now you have to come join my people.
Gosh.
My face.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, they just make me so angry. Bloodlines people. No disrespect. to
They're
anyone.
That's why they're banned
people.
from a lot of places.
Yeah, no disrespect, no
I'm, like,
shade.
laughing
But
too.
back
You
in
guys-
the day, they did some crazy stuff. That's why they're banned now.
You're just like
I don't
the whole
want
thing
any
started
vampires.
so messy. Well, someone's saying you have to wear your garlic necklace, so they can't just do that to you. So clearly, you were
Oh,
not
really?
prepared. Okay, Mika.
Oh yeah, I have one of those.
You have to have your garlic necklace on deck.
Actually, you just need to
Okay.
wear it once, and everybody knows that you're not allowed to bite that person.
I'd be
started
ready
really
to square up
messy.
with bloodlines as soon as I come across them. Stay away from me.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
I had so many vampire friends and vampire acquaintances. Like, you should become a vampire. Join the vampire because you look like a vampire. I'm like, no, thanks. I'm good.
Sashi says she used to be a blood doll. I'm afraid to even ask what that is.
Oh my god. It could be a whole conversation.
You know what?
What
Yeah,
is a
let's
blood
just
doll?
put that somewhere else because I know what a blood doll is. I just
Sashi, what is a blood doll? Jason said, "Don't hate. He's a vampire." Nom nom.
Oh my gosh.
a blood
Mr.
doll
Bubble
is
Cookie,
somebody
you
who
guys.
voluntarily becomes like.
Okay, Mr.
voluntarily-
Bubble said it so I didn't have to. It's literally a Second Life cult. That's
He
what
said-
Bloodlines
Wait,
is.
no, you gotta
period.
read the whole thing. He said Bloodlines is like Mary Kay, that makeup cult.
Oh my god.
Period, Mr. Bubbles. He knows what it is. We're on the
I
same
am here
page.
dying.
Oh my god.
It is a legit
yeah,
cult.
a blood doll
Wait,
is
can I-
somebody who
Wait, they-
voluntarily gives up their blood
Yeah, they just
to
drink
a
off you.
certain master.
Yeah, it says basically a donor. That's what Sashi said. So, Mr.
Like Twilight,
Bubble Cookie,
Ella, and what's his name?
everyone's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's on facts, Jalil, so you
what-
could see. Now I understood what you meant. All right, so that is so funny. It's just like Mary Kay, the cult. Don't tell one of my girlfriends I used to work with. She's part of Mary Kay, and she's been in 10 years strong, and she still thinks she's getting that pink Cadillac. I don't know.
I was
how to
about
get
to
it.
ask you
Hell
that. Did she
no.
say that?
No,
Did she get the pink
she
caddy?
did not get it.
They always say that, no matter which line it is, because my mom did Mary Kay, and then this other lady tried to recruit me to one, and she said the same exact thing, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
And those
That's
Mary
not
Kay
fun.
ladies are serious. Like, they brainwash them. They're like, listen, you have to do this Tupperware makeup party and go to people's house and have them put
Yeah.
lipstick on and stuff, and you're not doing enough. And you could just
Right.
buy makeup online. Why do you need to get a Mary Kay lady? You know what I mean? Like, and they haven't updated
feel
their
like it's
products
so
forever.
outdated.
Yeah.
All we would do was buy the stuff out of the catalog, but this was before like buy makeup online. And then
Yeah.
just quit because we didn't sell anything.
Sorry.
It's like
To
To Mama
Avon.
Izzy.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny. Yeah,
Just like
that's
fun.
kind of a cult. I mean, they're
This
kind
is-
of.
I love it how we were just talking how to make friends to like, okay, yeah, we're talking about makeup and catalogs.
Yeah, well,
Bloodline.
that's what happens when you that's what happens. That's how you make friends. You have a conversation, you bond, and you laugh, and there it is. That's the chemistry right there. To help you determine
Yeah.
whether or not you're going to be like that, the BFFs in the nursing home, or what's going to happen. You see those memes that people always have. Me and my
there you
BFF.
go.
This was a live tutorial.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was like Mika, please pass me my dentures.
All right, guys, so we're going to end it right here. That was 7+ ways to make friends in SL. We kind of also touched on, being open and not being so closed off. Bloodlines has improved, I'm learning, before they started super messy. So that's a group that you may want to consider if you're into that kind of thing. And, YZ said just go to like some Elven fantasy type sims and things like that, guys. So we gave you 7 ways. I don't know if you guys need me to recap for you, but basically take classes in SL if you want to meet new people, whether it's scripting, building, meshing, whatever you want to do. 2, frequent the same places, whether it's voice sims or voice hangout sims, dance clubs, things like that. You may want to consider moving into a community roleplay area or residential roleplay area like Luxe LA, West Summerside, Bayside, or a traditional roleplay community. Hollow, what is Alice's? Fox Hollow, like you want to move in there. Using a HUD system like Beyou, Xeno life system may help you to meet other people. Starting a business, in the process of finding a photographer, mesh creator, website builder, so on and so forth, you can meet people. When you go shopping, just say hello and then afterwards follow up. That's how me and June met. We just said hi to each other and every day would say, what are you doing, kind of like that. And when June stopped coming online, because she used to come in really early in the morning and her hours changed, that's how Sky and I got close, because Sky used to hang out with Izzy and Sky would be on in the mornings and we'd be the only 2 on in the morning. So then we just started talking, and then over a couple months we became really, really close. joining a RP family, things like that. So that's what we have. Does anyone want to add anything?
Don't be
I do want to
afraid.
add.
Oh, sorry, June.
Oh no no no! I want to hear you. I want to hear. Yeah.
Oh, just don't be afraid to speak to anybody if they're not receptive to it. That just means that they're not for you, and just go on and introduce yourself to the next person. That's all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really good. Exactly. You just don't be afraid. That's the main part because like when I was in high school, like trying to make friends, I would get afraid, and then like the one thing that I wanted to say was like to have friends, you have to be a friend, and what I mean by that is like you can't be like in the back of your mind always second guessing or like not trusting them if you want them to be like your friend for real, like because you're gonna have this attitude about it's gonna come across that way as well that you don't trust them, and you just need to be a friend and like kind of I know I understand the hesitation to trust people at a certain part, but like
Yeah.
I just think it's yeah, you have to be a friend to get a friend.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
Oh, friendship. Remember, friendship is a very beautiful thing. But with everything, it does take work. You can't just be friends in a couple minutes. You can get along in a couple minutes. But a friendship is something you have to work on.
Absolutely, Mousy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. Good night. Just wanted to say good night. Thank you for joining us because I know this live stream was kind of late. I hope to do it early, like around 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's what we're going to aim for next week. And I'm so glad, like, you guys are really keeping me on track with this because usually I could probably do something else. Like, I was thinking about doing an Avi build and everyone was like, excuse me, it's the 7 plus. Like, hello. So, yeah, that's actually a good thing because I know my brain could be a little sporadic. So that's another thing friends are good for. They keep you in line.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that, guys. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments below for those of you who are watching outside the live stream. And thank you so much for spending your time here with us. I'll leave everyone's YouTube channels down below so you can follow them and see what they're about. Whoever you connected with the most or everyone. Thanks, guys. Talk to you